How you doing? My name's Jerry Mason. I am your kicking lawyer. My plan was to start posting some of these like weekly, and I was going to do it from a specific location with a better camera. But I've been bombarded in the last 24 hours with some questions about one specific issue. So I thought, since it's kind of timely, that I would relay some information on that now. So basically, some of you have messaged me and asked about data breaches. And so, first of all, I guess it's good for everybody to understand what a data breach is. So, generally, a data breach is anytime an entity, an employer or otherwise, has a breach in the security of confidential information. So, name, date of birth, social security number, financial information, W 2 forms, things like that. That would constitute a data breach. In Tennessee, there's a law specific that covers that, the Tennessee Identity Theft Deterrence Act of 1999. Basically, under that act, if there has been a breach that involves over 1,000 people, the entity that's the breaching entity has to give them notice under the law, and the breach is limited to. Initially, it depends. It depends on the specific facts of the case. So, like a lot of people think, oh, I've been wrong. There's all this potential damages come. Damages in legal terms is money. So I'm going to get all this money or whatever. And that's not necessarily the way it works. The statute does cap it as initially you get what's called actual damages or compensatory damages. So just to give you an example, what that means is, let's say I was in a car wreck. My compensatory damages would be reimbursement for maybe injuries I sustained, repairs to the vehicle, that kind of thing, just to put you back to where you were before it happened. What most people think of when they think of civil litigation is punitive damages. Those are the damages that are designed to punish. And a lot of times you have to prove that the action on the breaching party was willful, wanton, malicious, or potentially gross negligence, sometimes to get outside statutory caps. However, under the statute in Tennessee specifically, you can get your attorney's fees back, any filing cost. It's basically actual damages plus cost and attorney's fees. So, of course, that can vary for everybody. And there's other things that you can get to. Like, it's pretty routine that there should be some type of protection afforded to people that have an identity theft breach, especially on a big scale. Some type of protection offered. The biggest issue, I think, for people and the people that have contacted me in reference to this specific issue is, don't sign anything that's waiving your right to bring some action. One of the first things a breaching entity is probably going to do is inform the affected parties and then try to get them to waive their right to bring some type of litigation. Obviously, as a lawyer, that's not something that we would like you to do. Of course, that's up to you to make a decision on what you want to do on each specific case. Oh, and then another question was, well, what money would I get if there was a suit? Well, each case is different. It's speculative. I mean, obviously, somebody who has had their identity stolen and then it's caused some type of damage to their credit, or they're on the hook for some kind of fraudulent claim or something, they could have maybe more damages than somebody that if they had bad credit and they couldn't open a card or something in their account, may not have the damages may be limited. Regardless, there should still be some type of offer to repair the person, due to the damage, and that does seem to be covered under the law. Again, but I couldn't get into specifics because each case would be different. Somebody also asked about a class action. Yeah, it's a possibility too. Again, each specific incident of some kind of data breach would be have to be evaluated individually on whether or not it qualifies under the regulations for filing a class action. So that's a possibility too. That's something you'd have to discuss individually with your lawyer or the law firm. And then another question was retaliation. People were worried, well, hey, if I talk to a lawyer or try to pursue some action on this, what if they fire me or whatnot, if it's in your employer? And that's a big no-no. Like, there are strong legal protections that if you're effectuating your rights from a breach of some type of duty to you as an employee, the significant damages can follow if an employer decides to use that at any point in the future, whether it's to approve a day off or for promotion purposes or anything like that. They can't use it against you. So, and really, you get way more damages if there's evidence that they have done that. So retaliation is really not an issue. Plus, you got to remember that if it's a big data breach, obviously if a lot of people are involved in the litigation, it's going to be way harder for an entity to retaliate in any form against an individual because you got so many parties involved. Um, Again, I hope this has been informative. If you have specific questions about it, you can, of course, contact our law firm at the number below. This is not intended to be legal advice you rely on. You should always contact a competent and licensed, they're not always the same thing, but a competent and licensed attorney in your jurisdiction if you have specific questions about an issue. And you can always message me regardless. We can direct you to the right place maybe to go or where to start. The law firm number is 901-726-3854. If you like this message or if any of the other videos are of interest to you, have been a help, please like and subscribe to share it. I'm not a millennial, but I realize a lot of you guys are, and so I'm trying to step outside the old guy comfort zone and do more of this digital stuff. But anyway, if any of you have any issues with it, like I said, give us a holler. So thanks for your time. Always remember it's within your interest to protect your rights. And, if your rights are being infringed on, I think it's important that you always fight. So if nothing else happens and you're down and out and everything's against you, as the Kickin lawyer, my advice is fight. If nothing else, if all else fails, fight.